Do you have that mindset while you were
Yes,
back
I
home?
did.
So you did?
I did have that mindset. I felt that maybe just having doing some internships while in school would just
Will
get
land you the
me. Yeah,
job,
will
yeah.
just land me the job. But I think if I had a mentor back then at an early stage, maybe my decisions would have been different.
It is Wake Up Concept. If you want to share, welcome to this episode of Each One Teach One, where we talk about issues and topics that will help us Africans and African community to move forward thoughtfully. Today I have with me an interesting, exciting young lady that came from Ghana to Finland. Particularly, her case is exceptionally good, and that is why she's sitting down here with me today to tell you guys everything and all she have got to experience coming to Finland and landing a job in Finland. So without further ado, Florence, Adiamah, you're welcome to the show.
Thank you. I'm happy to be here.
I'm happy you're able to do this.
Yeah.
So if you don't mind, tell me a little bit about yourself and how you got to Finland. Yeah.
Okay, so just a brief intro.
Yeah.
My name is Florence, and you can call me Flo.
Yeah.
And I am Ghanaian and have been in Finland for 3 years and just about 2 months. And I'm a junior software developer. And currently, aiming higher.
Good stuff. Good stuff.
Yeah.
So could you, in a way, just tell us, or if you like, describe the process, your journey from Ghana to Finland. How did it all started? If you could just, share.
Okay,
Yeah.
just a disclaimer out there that as I tell my story, everyone has a different situation.
Yeah.
So maybe whoever is listening should focus on what they can pick on it out from the story and apply it to their life, because everyone's situation is different.
Definitely.
Yes. So my journey is that like everyone else, everyone has their plans before coming here. I had different opportunities to go to Canada and to go to UK and even for Finland. But like I said at the networking event, it was more convenient to come here because my tuition fees were going to be covered by the university. So I was like, why not? I want to be independent already and develop and also be out of my comfort zone. So I decided to go with Finland. And then, yes, I didn't plan to be a software developer. I just followed whatever interests attracted me. And I had a background in communication design during my bachelor's degree. I came here to study communications for the intercultural international space. And then I did a top-up course in IT. You can say software development, and after that, this is what got me into software development industry.
Oh,
yes.
Excellent. Excellent. So during the process of you becoming a software developer, how did that come about? What are the obstacles or challenges that you face, or was it just that easy?
No, not at all. I mean, when I reflect on the whole process, it was not easy. It was a lot of a mental game, I would say, yes. But I had to persist, and I would say that one thing that really made a difference was that I was hungry for information. I went out there to look for information, and that's how I got answers to questions I had quickly. For example, we all know the struggle with the job situation here in Finland. And when I was coming from Ghana to Finland, my idea was that, okay, I would really love to work with an international team. So that's why I decided to do the course in communication, because I wanted to know how to work with different people from different cultures and backgrounds. And that was that my biggest idea. I was like, okay, maybe I will dive into UN and maybe UNICEF, something related to that as I go along. But then it hit me as I started trying to look for a job, and then it was difficult to find because there were barriers, like language barriers, and getting in touch with people who were in high places who could help me maybe get into that kind of, or just information to get into that kind of sector. So I wanted to succeed and succeed quickly. So I decided to fish out for information, and I went on LinkedIn to find answers to my questions. So that's how I went on trying to get information, and I came across a few people on LinkedIn because at the time I was looking for ladies, African ladies, whom I could look up to, or maybe just get the reference that, okay, this lady has been able to make it, so I can also make it. Yes,
yes, or learn from their examples, right?
Exactly.
But
so
you didn't find any.
It was hard to find. I found I think 2 people, and the first person was now trying to get into the industry.
So basically, both of you are in the same situation.
Yes, same kind of situation.
Okay.
But then I also found the other person who was like more into the industry, but not directly into what I wanted to get into. But it was like a foot in the door. I was like, okay.
But why were you specifically looking for Africans?
Because they are the kind of people
you can connect with.
Yes,
right?
I can easily connect with.
Culturally and otherwise, right?
Yes, and also because they will understand my kind of situation.
And
what
your
I'm.
Background.
Yes, more. So that was what I was focusing on, and also I was looking for an African because I'm in a foreign country, and I have to ask myself, okay, who has made it, and is in my kind of situation. I just wanted a reference to be inspired, but not that I couldn't do it by myself, but that kind of reference helps me to know that it is possible in Finland.
And also in a way to see if there's a structure that works for Finland.
Yes.
That you can follow, or you can mimic somehow.
Yes.
I get it.
Yes.
Okay.
So that was what I was looking.
And that didn't quite work out quite the way you intended.
It did in a way, because it was through this person that I got to know about the mentoring program. At the time, I didn't think of using mentoring program to kind of get a career, to start my career. I was like, okay, how do I get this job? That was all that was on my mind. But through the mentoring program, I got to know that you need to structure your CV this way. You need to network. You need to follow up on people and try to adjust your mindset to, or adapt to how the situation is here in Finland. So in that sense, it was like a gradual process. When I was starting my search, I didn't know that gradual process will lead me to where I am now. Yeah, but I started from somewhere, and then I saw progress and I followed along. Yeah. Good.
This is really interesting because, the way you're explaining now, it tells that everything has a process.
Yeah. I'll just add that sometimes when people say, "Oh, I got a job through networking," it's easy for you to think like, "Oh, networking and then a job." No, it sounds like a whole magical thing, but people rarely talk about the hard part. Yeah, you have to, even when it comes to networking, what do people mean by networking? What do you do during that networking process? So in that sense, it helped. And I was also looking for which career path to take, because by then I had different backgrounds in communication design, in international communication, and then in IT. And where I come from in Ghana, I'm not sure if it's similar to yours in Nigeria. It's like when you study a particular course, you have to follow that path. Else, in my mind, I was thinking, if you don't have that kind of specific path you are following, you seem like a confused person. You don't know what you are doing. Yeah, so I didn't see the importance of having diverse backgrounds. So I felt that the market, the working force, will see me as a confused person. But then through the mentoring program, I got to see the value of having these diverse backgrounds and how the workforce values those things.
Talking about that mentoring.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Could you shed more light on that? Because I would like to, or probably know more about the process through that mentoring.
Okay.
And how useful it was for you.
Sure. I can share. So when I got to know about the mentoring program through my contact on LinkedIn, Doren integration program by Lucan, was presented, and also Think Africa program was also presented. And I signed up for both because I didn't know where the success story would come from, but there was a delay in Doren because they couldn't find mentors. And for Think Africa, I got a mentor, but then Corona happened, so things didn't go as planned. So even though it didn't go as planned, I followed up on it through the coordinator for the program, and I was like, I need answers. I need to find answers because I can't wait till the next year to get answers to all my what I'm looking for.
So you were pretty more determined.
Yes, I was really pushing for it, and I was lucky because the coordinator was also helpful and opened up and tried to match me to a mentor. And the mentor was really also proactive and reached out to me. I was like, okay, is this how it's supposed to work? Because I was thinking that I have to reach out because I need the help. And that's how it's all begun. And then we started a conversation from there, and my eyes were open to things I didn't know, because when you happen to come to a new place, you might find yourself in a certain bubble and you're caught up in your own kind of mindset. So if you don't go out there to get to know how the society works, you might be living your own life through your mindset.
Through your own imagination.
Yes, that's the right word. Wow.
So what was the kind of how then did you land your job? Like what are the specific things that that happened until you landed your job and became a software developer?
Okay. So information. Information was very key here. So like I said, I was out there, and I happened to have a friend who also got a job because they had like IT skills aside the degree they had already studied in school. So the person was trying to find a job in the bachelor's degree they had studied or the master's degree, and the person was not getting it. But then when the person topped up with an IT skills, then they had a more opportunity, because then they could use these two skills and be more valuable to the company. So I was like, okay, maybe I should follow this path, because not that I was not interested in IT. I knew that was where the world is heading towards. Everything is turning. So I was like, okay, what's the better time to do it than now? So I decided to take it up, and I had a little bit of knowledge because I did a little bit in my bachelor's degree. So I decided to explore that interest as well. So I had to be open-minded, because if I was stuck in my ways and said that, okay, I'm going to go through this UN thing by hook or crook. I could have, but it would have taken me a long time because I have to learn so many different things in terms of maybe so many difficult barriers, and I didn't have someone to reference. So I had to use what I had
at the time.
Yes, at that time, because I can always go into that sector later on in future. So that's how it happened. Yeah.
Wow. So if because from what I hear from you, the network is really important. How to broaden your scope of like how you perceive things outside there.
And be open-minded.
And then being open-minded, and then you talked about the mentorship, how it also opened your broaden your scope of how things work here, and what you should be obviously focusing on. And then what other thing are we missing that led to your success?
To be determined and continue to be resilient, persevere. For example, through the process, like I told you, I didn't know that maybe the mentoring program was going to help me in a way to land a job. But through that process, just trusting and following through and being consistent. It's easy to start, it's easy to end, but being consistent is the main part. So that's what builds up the resilience. Okay, so I got some rejections when I made job applications, and then I asked for feedback. Why did you reject my application? When I go for interviews, I ask questions, and then when I'm rejected, I ask again. Just so when I get a feedback, I try to improve based on what I get. But that was not what I used to do initially before the mentoring program. I would just go with the flow. Okay, rejection, blah, blah, blah. It's part of the process. But that helped me. And then through the mentoring program, I was like in a refining process, because as I grew in the space and I networked more with people, I'm like, okay, I talk about my situation. Okay, I introduce myself. I am ABC, and I'm trying to get into this space. I don't know how to utilize or maybe better present myself to the working force because I have this diverse skill. And then you would be amazed at how people can give you ideas on how you can utilize all these skills. And then I shared my experience after the networking event. I get in touch with them on LinkedIn, and okay, it was nice talking to you, blah, blah, blah. And the interesting thing is that when they find an opportunity, or your network finds an opportunity based on your conversation, they are open to share it with you. And that's what, like, it creates that kind of connection in that sense, and it makes it easy for you to find companies, because sometimes it's difficult to find the companies that you really want to work in. So it really helped in that regard.
So how satisfied are you now with your current job now?
I am very, very satisfied, because I couldn't believe that there was a company that could match what I really wanted to do like this, because they appreciate my diverse skills, and it's a plus for me, and it's a plus for them. So I'm happy that all these kind of mindsets that I had about fitting into a specific box was cleared, and yeah.
Wow. So because there are a lot of people now, like I'm sitting down here with you, barely 3 years that you came into this country, and probably you've heard that there are a lot of people here that are probably 10, 15 years confused, and some of them have studied as well, and then they fail to even adapt or even top up. Like you said, you really saw that, okay, you had this, you were coming from a diverse background, right? And then you figured out that, okay, this is not working. There must be a way out.
Yeah.
And then you upskill again.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
How long did that take, the process? Like, was it a long time when you went for the additional skill that you had that eventually became something that...
It took about 17 months.
17 months?
Yeah, that's like 1 year and a half. But I did it directly after my master's degree. So I've tried to finish my master's degree earlier than the 2 years that I was supposed to. And then right after that, I just went through it. So I just happen to be like very proactive. I'm always thinking about the next 2 years. So I think that helped in a way because I was just hungry for...
You have the right attitude, I must say. Like, what message, or what would be the right message for you to tell people within our community, people of color, that are actually struggling and saying that, yeah, I can't find my way out. I've been here, like, they're looking for, someone to blame or someone to say, or an excuse to say, yeah, I studied this, I didn't do this, or this didn't happen for me. What will you say to those kind of people?
That's a tough one. But from my experience, I would say that you need to start from somewhere, and you follow through. It's better to get someone who has succeeded over here and try to look up to the person, try to reach out and ask for things that you feel could improve your situation, or just because everyone's situation is dynamic, and based on your situation, whoever is up there that you are looking up to can give you advice on that. You just have to go out for it, because it will never come to you. That's what I've realized. If you are hungry and you go for it hardcore, it will pay off. But times have changed because 15 years back, 10 years back, the situation in Finland is quite different from now. Maybe I'm lucky. So maybe I've come to enjoy the benefits of what people have been complaining about, and people have changed their story, and I believe that it will only progress if we all come together and try to do our best to change the narrative.
Definitely, there's no better way to put it than what you just laid out. And things are changing, and things have changed. If you compare to, say 10, 15 years back, that's a fact. Sense, but still, there are still people that have made huge progress during those times as well. So it's all come down to your mindset, your view of the world, and what is it that you're living for. Because if you don't, obviously, there is what I call, like what I say to my child as well, like wiggle, like you there's no way that you are not going to wiggle anything and get something serious done. You have to have a plan. You have to know how to. You have to have a plan. Follow it through. If it doesn't work, fine. You've tried. There's something else there for you to do.
Even if it doesn't work, you have maybe more than 5 reasons or 5 answers to learn from the mistake.
Exactly.
Than not to try at all.
Exactly.
So that's one of the lessons from my mentor. Because I had a mentor in the Dorem program later on, and also in the Think Africa program, and through them I got to know other people. So like I got a whole, I think more than 6 people to be talking to at the same time. So it wasn't just a straightforward thing, because different people have different approach to answering your questions and how they see things. So having a diverse view also helps.
The world is so different now. You can have there's a lot of things, even in the YouTube, there are a lot of skills that you can even learn there. You can't just tell me that, if you don't know someone, no one is going to employ you, because that is simply not true. So what do you then do in order to give you that edge? To sit in front of someone and say, I have this skill, I have done this, I have done that, I am well prepared to learn, and that is why I'm here. I said it makes a whole lot of difference.
Yes.
Yeah?
That
what's your experience?
Yeah, what you just said reminded me of this quote that I always have in mind, that opportunity comes to those who are ready.
Exactly.
So the fact that maybe you want opportunities doesn't mean that it will just be there. But how do you prepare yourself for that kind of opportunity? For example, if I was maybe going through the mentoring program and I was just taking things lightly, and maybe I came across a network or someone who could really help me, and maybe after talking to the person, I got an opportunity to maybe go through an interview, and then I didn't perform well at the interview. I mean, that means I didn't prepare myself properly for that kind of situation. So even through that whole process of learning from mistakes, breaking down at some point, getting up, that is all preparing you for the breakthrough that will come through in the future.
Like, tell me, there is two ways. If you have talent, you need to develop that talent in order for that talent to serve you.
Yeah, that's
one. You want to go to school, develop a skill. You don't just go to school and say, I did mass comm. So what?
Yes, you see, that's, I don't think you can easily blame that kind of mindset, because where we are coming from, your degree, if you have the degree, you should get a job. But over here, it's not like that. It's like proof what you are talking about. Like, okay, you're a software developer. What shows you are? What kind of thing what things can you do to set yourself apart from others? So what portfolio do you have? And all those kind of things. But we can easily fall into like the bubble of thinking that, okay, I have a master's degree in whatever course, so that should get me into the job.
Did you have that mindset while you were
Yes, I did.
So you did?
I did have that mindset. I felt that maybe just doing some internships while in school would just get me. Yeah, will just land me the job. But I think if I had a mentor back then at an early stage, maybe my decisions would have been different.
The thing I normally struggle with also is that even some of them too, one thing also is to have a mentor.
Yes.
And another thing is to take in the information.
Yes.
Because as you know, they said that you can force a horse to the river, but you can't force the horse to drink water.
Yeah.
So when I talk to I have sisters, so I've been like, I have sister, all my siblings. So and then my younger ones, and even my cousins. When I talk to them, right, it's more like, there is no action without reaction.
Yeah.
Right. If you take this action, expect that. Right. And if you are not prepared to actually also see through my eyes, because by default we are just the product of the environment we are, right?
Yes.
But you need to understand that in order to be different, in order to have different outcome, you need to begin to think differently and do something differently.
Yeah.
And now I cite different examples of people coming from Nigeria to Finland for events, for different projects, and going back and all this kind of thing. And you are sitting there telling me there's nothing, and I'm telling you, okay, this is what you need to do. There's no magic. There is no magic.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter how much money I send to you or how much, it's not going to work. It doesn't work that way. You need to understand that there is a process. You go to school. You're not going to school to come out and begin to tell people, yeah, I have certificate, because it doesn't mean anything, right? Or you go to school because skill. Skill. You want to skill for something. You want to be able to look at yourself and say, okay, what kind of value can you offer, right? Because once you can prove, or once you can show that you have some kind of value, or you have something, of value that you can bring to any organization, to anyone, that is already a game changer.
Yeah.
You know, so
Yeah.
you don't just say school. Hear from my, like I tell them, like, please, if you cannot see through my eyes here, so that you can make progress. But those kind of discussions also is very difficult.
Yeah.
When you came on board, like when I heard you speaking straight away, I was really I was already impressed with how much you have done with a within a very short space of time. What you did was so clever, so brave, and I really really appreciate it.
I think there are people who have even made it more than me, but I just felt that you never know. Maybe at this time, this may be important to someone who may be listening or be just trying to get into a better place. And even if it's maybe some low-level knowledge or from this experience, it could be useful. It maybe what may be familiar to me, maybe something big to someone.
Definitely something big, because you are an inspiration. What you've done is not common, and that is why I wanted you to share your experience with us, so that people like us, our community, can tap into your experience.
I hope so.
And I hope and I believe it encourages them, and in a way it inspires them to make good of their life and what is it that we have here, because there's a lot of opportunity here, but you wouldn't see it if you don't know.
Yeah.
Right. So this is also my way of bringing the information to the people to say, you know, Florence have done something, and you can also do it if you're ready to put in the work.
Yeah.
Put in the effort, because you're going to also have similar outcome. You also coming today to share, taking out your time because you're very busy. Also taking out your time to share with our community, with people. That is also a way of contributing and also trying to help other people.
Yes.
So I'm really really impressed, and I'm really happy that you're able to do this, Florence.
Thank you for having me. I mean, if I was helped through someone, I can only give back. It's only natural that I do so.
Definitely.